You got it?
I got it.
Are we recording?
I mean, you pressed the
on?
record. I can tell that you pressed the record
I didn't
button.
do anything.
I pressed the music button, but then you pressed the music button to turn it off, and then you
There's
pressed the
no
record
proof
button.
that any of that happened.
I was recording on my phone.
Oh.
Welcome to the pod.
Cast. Do we say, is that something we try? Is
that
something?
That.
Shit. All right. Hey, everybody.
It's the morning.
Yeah, it's a brand new day. We're here to watch another Batman episode. We're gonna be watching Batman for so long, and before we finally get to watch some of the other shows, and that's okay because there's nothing wrong with it.
It's okay specifically because you're wearing a Batman shirt, and that makes me feel like
no
I
proof
have
of this.
I
you have no proof of
a
anything.
Camera.
I'm naked.
Yeah.
This is the show where we watch. What is this show called? It's Brian's taking a picture of me. That's the name of the show.
That is the name of the show.
Jump on the Bat-Wagon. Yeah.
No, it's called Jump
on
the
Bat-Wagon. I always forgot what we were doing.
You did.
It's gonna take a bit. Folks, welcome. I'm one listener. Welcome back to the show where we watch all the DC animated universe from start to finish, and we're on episode 9 or something of Batman at this point.
Episode 9.
We're watching this in Airdate order because I want Brian to experience the DCAU the way that children of the 90s experienced the DCAU as he was already 25 years old at that point, and he gets older every podcast episode.
But not just like normal older, like exponentially older.
He was
5 years per
yeah.
episode.
Yes. I was a child, and Brian was an adolescent, I suppose.
You were
a toddler.
Infant. You were not even toddling at this point.
Not by this point, no, not yet.
We should have celebrations like when you get to the age,
mm-hmm.
whatever release
Happy
date.
Birthday to me or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we can have cake. We can like celebrate
your
your first steps. We should ask your parents when your first step was, and hopefully we can like celebrate it.
I think they have like a baby book full of those kind of milestones.
There you go.
Lord knows I haven't been doing that at all.
Have you not?
No, I think I decided basically like with the invention of Snapchat and other social media platforms that everyone knows when he's doing everything, and I can very easily, if I wanted to know, just go track down whatever day I took the picture or whatever.
That's a good point. I just
digitally archived.
Didn't think about the fact that like apps and phones would replace like baby books.
The world is computers now. I think we have a baby book that came with something that we got by default.
With the baby.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
For people who aren't aware, James is a newly dad. Is that a thing?
Newly dad. I'm a dad.
Yeah.
What am I trying to say? Like,
I think you just said it. You're a dad.
I'm a dad. Yeah.
Congratulations.
That's what it is. Hey, by the way, Brian's never seen any of these shows before. Brian's never seen any of the DCAU besides what we've watched so far.
8 episodes so far. I like this running tally thing that we're doing.
Yeah, and just kind of
it's like we can count.
You have like a sort of osmosis knowledge of some things by watching Watchtower database videos for a few years. But I don't think anything important has really stuck in your brain. Probably
there's a yellow bat suit.
Oh shit! That's like the most continuity cinching aspect of anything ever.
I mean, it's the most important thing to me.
Yeah, we've watched 9 episodes so far. You idiot! This is episode 10.
I'm not counting the one which shall not be named.
Well, here on the list I have PP. I think that was supposed to be Pretty Poison.
That was Pretty Poison.
You're talking about It's Never Too Late.
No, we do not name that episode.
That's not a thing. It's funny how we've had a pretty good run of episodes so far, except for that one, and so far that is your like bottom like man, It's Never Too Late. That sucks. That's the worst. And I'm just laughing at how we'll get to other stuff. We'll get to other episodes.
I feel like I'm one of those people that just really needs to latch on to things that I hate.
No, I fully understand
the
that.
Night Circus book. Oh my God.
Yeah, no one knows what you're talking about. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, don't do the research. Don't bother. Don't look it up.
The Night Circus book.
No, we're just gonna we can't hear you now.
I don't know what is it. You gotta explain.
The worst book I've ever encountered in my life.
Really?
And most of my housemates and circus friends tend to really appreciate it, and I just can't. There's so many. It's so bad.
Is it a book about the circus that you read at night, or is it a book about a circus that happens at night?
It's a book about a circus that happens at night.
Can you read it at night?
You're probably gonna fall asleep.
You gotta strain your eyes reading without as much light.
You're going to strain your brain trying to understand why somebody can write something so awful.
We're watching Nothing to Fear today.
Oh, right. Yeah, Batman.
This is the name of the episode.
We're just going to cut all that.
No, we're not.
Oh, boy.
This aired September 15th, 1992, 4:30 p.m. on Fox Kids.
Nice.
And I will include that every time, even though it's not going to... This is... Where were you at 4:30 p.m. on September 15th, 1992?
I could almost certainly tell you.
Okay. It was a Tuesday, so
I almost certainly would have been in Andover, New Hampshire.
Doing what? Reading the Night Circus book?
No, it didn't exist then. The world was a better place. Like post-Nazi, pre-Night Circus, it's that weird transition.
That's just on the same level, I guess. that awkward stage between World War II and some book Brian kind of doesn't like.
Folks, it's in the morning. I'm sorry. Anyway.
Yeah.
What are we doing? We're going to watch an episode.
Yeah. This is the 3rd episode produced. And the 10th episode aired. This was written by Henry Gilroy and Sean Catherine Derrick, directed by our good old Boyd Kirkland. Music by Shirley Walker, and animation by Dong Yang, which also they did the animation for one of the other episodes we watched. I think
a couple episodes
Joker
ago.
one.
Maybe it was.
Yes, the Joker's Favor. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you anything else about it. Your prediction was it had maybe something to do with Scarecrow.
Yeah.
And then I think you're just have kind of an infinitely running prediction that this will be Batman's origin story because you're just waiting for it to happen.
I am going to scream when it actually happens.
Yeah. Well,
it better happen.
You have a chance of like, okay, this is the 3rd episode aired, or the 3rd episode produced.
Yeah.
So like,
we're like getting there.
Is your assumption that they did a Batman origin episode like early on in production of episodes?
I didn't know that this
maybe
was the
they
third
did. Maybe they
produced.
produced it like 30 episodes in, but it was aired soon. Like, what is your prediction?
My prediction is that origin stories belong at the beginning of things. And so I would just hope that they would get it. I mean, if we're like 6 months into this and then we get the origin story,
I'm going to be
over
a week into this technically. You're talking about the podcast. I thought you meant,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess even that's a good point. Like we're only just a week in,
to the show. Yeah.
I could see it being like a 2 to 3 week thing. So,
okay.
We'll
the show lasted 3 years.
Okay.
So maybe 2 years from now.
Maybe they end it with the origin story.
I will say nothing, and you will watch the episode with me, and we'll find out together.
Yay!
We'll come back in just a minute after watching Nothing to Fear, and we'll talk about it and trivia and things like that.
We didn't give a spoiler thing.
Oh yeah,
spoiler alert.
If you haven't watched this episode before, don't listen to this. Because we're gonna spoil everything that happens. You should. These shows deserve to be seen by you,
and you alone, listener.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
No, not now.
You are a disgrace.
No, you are not my father. I am not a disgrace. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman!
Yes! Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. Come on and slam.
There it is.
Hey, everybody. We watched Nothing to Fear. It was a Scarecrow episode.
I have yet to be proven wrong.
It wasn't Batman's origin, but it did have a little tastes of it in a way.
I'd like to go on record saying that this is the most right I've ever been about anything.
In your life?
And your life.
Oh, okay. So, like, during all the years that I was alive, but I didn't know you, anything that you were right about did not compare.
No, this was the most right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I could agree with that, yeah. You're usually wrong, so yeah. Tell me about Nothing to Fear. What is this? What happens?
Well,
you said you thought you had a pretty good TV guide. You're like, I got this.
I think I got this.
Yeah,
I think it's like succinct enough. All right, so there's a college, and there's this Professor Long. Start off the episode, and
Dr.
he's like
Long,
Doctor Professor Long. And now my conviction is shaking.
Yeah, I'm not as confident anymore. No, do continue. I'll just stare at you.
Okay, great. That's a face. I'm gonna take a picture of this too.
No, don't.
Okay.
You're wasting so much
My
time.
phone's not even there. Oh my god. Okay, let's go. So there's been all these attacks happening on this college, and everyone's kind of trying to figure out why. Get a little taste of Bruce Wayne's disappointment in his life.
Keep talking. I'm gonna get my water.
Oh, James is gonna go and get his water. I guess I'm just gonna I'm gonna play this. Nope. Nope. I guess not. Okay, so listener, I'm just gonna tell you because Jamie's left me. No, he's not. So there's all these attacks happening on a college, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. And then the Scarecrow makes his appearance and is like, "Yo, I have this gas that makes you afraid of whatever you're afraid of."
The Scarecrow says it's yo.
Yo, I'm the Scarecrow.
I'm chicky with it. Can you be Batman?
Apparently not. Apparently so.
Apparently neutral.
Apparently neutral. Yeah, so there's the college and the Batman and this fear gas, and he's gonna rain terror on the city, and he's like robbing banks and messing stuff up, and he's got a blimp full of this chemicals, and it seems like he's gonna rain terror. The Scarecrow is gonna rain terror on the city.
Rain, literally
rain gas on the city and make everybody afraid for whatever reason. He's had a sordid past and has a history of studying.
Sordid. That's good.
It's a great, not sorted, but sordid.
Yes, did.
Good job, Jamie. I'm proud of you.
I know.
Unlike Batman's father, who's not proud of him.
Well, he thinks he wouldn't be anyway. That's his greatest fear.
But Alfred is like, I'm proud of you, son.
Yeah, he sure is.
Anyway, wrapping up this synopsis, Batman kind of accidentally, he really slips. He really lets down. He's not on his A game.
Quite shaken, yeah.
And he's just like dropping bad guys out of windows who are like luckily landing on awnings and large bonsais.
That seemed like the most obvious example. The more I thought about it, I think it's a pretty obvious example of like network television like standards and practices of like, yeah, you can throw that guy out the window, but you have to show that he landed safely on a thing or something like that. Because like the children will be too scared in this episode about fear if you show that they land on one of those bouncy like flapjack window hanging things that only exist in movies. What the fuck are they? Like awnings? Yeah, but nobody has that in real life.
Dear listener, James has never been to New York City.
If you have one of those, get rid of it. It sucks. You look stupid. You look like you're in the movie Aladdin.
All of New York City and Philadelphia and other large cities on the Eastern Seaboard that James
anywhere
has
I've
never
never
been.
Anywhere I've never been does not exist. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
It's like
my
convinced.
Warcraft map it's in the dark and I haven't walked there yet, so it hasn't revealed itself.
Anything outside of Oregon doesn't exist to James.
No, I've been to many other states. Just I've never seen.
Anything outside of Oregon, Washington, and California does not exist. Have you been to Idaho?
That's closer. Yes.
I haven't.
I've been to almost every state.
No.
On drum corps tours. Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Have you?
Yes.
Did we decide you've been to New Hampshire?
I marked it off on a map at one point. I don't know. Some of them I forget, and some of them barely count because they're just like miles and miles of corn that we drove through to get to a different state.
Looking at you, Nebraska.
And any Kansas adjacent state is basically just corn.
You didn't wink.
I didn't
There's
wink.
the wink.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's
Anyway,
what happens at the
finish the
end?
wrap
What happens
up?
at the end?
Oh,
how does he conclude this?
Batman uses the most advanced Google ever.
Yes.
And it's like, this scrap of fabric you found. Computer,
Batmobile Siri.
Yeah.
Where is the Scarecrow though? He is here. Thank you. Bingo. He
Yeah,
says.
basically, honestly, like it was this very like he analyzed a scrap of fabric, and it's like the computer's like it came
There's
from
a
these
lot of
5
that.
laboratories, and Batman's like, who worked at those 5 laboratories? Like this guy. And
There's a
Batman's
lot
like,
of that in
okay,
this
what did he
show.
study? Fear. Bingo.
That makes sense. It all adds up.
Yeah.
A lot of that in this show, and about where Batman just. Yeah.
I'm waiting. You
Oh,
can finish your
okay.
thought.
Batman just is like stumped by the mystery and just puts an object into his computer disk drive, and it goes, yes, the substance from the place. Here's the list of things that it could be that it could deal with, and then Batman goes, I love a good plot device. His finger was on the button for 5 minutes.
I have patience.
Yeah.
So then Batman
finds
ends up
Scarecrow.
at his lab and like opens the gas, and Scarecrow somehow doesn't have an antidote for himself. Apparently,
Yeah, he
years
didn't
of
think of
studying
that,
fear, and he's like, "Well, I'm never gonna have to protect
He
myself
was
against
caught
this."
off guard. He wasn't expect that whole scene. You can just hear like a psst, like, why is there gas leaking? Like I heard it at the start of the scene, and then he's just like, wait a second, my gas canisters are on.
And I love that he ran over to turn him off, and then he's like, "Oh no, fear!"
Yeah,
Like
just
he should have
kidding.
been like,
The
"I know
whole
what's gonna
time,
happen."
yeah.
You think he would have some kind of method to work, but maybe
Yeah.
you can't.
His other glove shoots anti-fear or something.
Right? Yeah. Or he's got like a capsule like in his tooth or
Yeah.
something he's got a little hinge, and he's
So
got.
then he sees Batman as the Fantasia Night on Bald Mountain monster.
Yeah, I actually had that exact thought. It was just blue instead of maroon.
Yeah.
Which was cool. But
I think he's blue.
I thought he was maroon.
He's just, I don't know, he's lit different. He's lit. He's totally lit in that movie.
Oh my god.
I don't even think that counts as a joke. That's closer.
There, that's probably more appropriate.
yeah, that's it, I think.
Yeah. And so like he gets captured and strung up on a fan.
He does, on a ceiling fan in a police station that probably is several decades old and yet can hold a man's weight.
I imagine that he would just be so covered in dust.
The man?
The Scarecrow.
Yeah. Because he's been hanging up there for years and they didn't notice.
No, just
that
those
ending
fan
scene
blades,
takes
like-
place 6 years after the show.
You know, he's actually dead hanging up there. He's
Oh my God,
starved
yeah.
to death, and nobody
is.
noticed he was there just swinging away.
we must have the fear toxin in us because he looks like a skeleton. No, he's been up there quite a while.
You guys didn't notice? Yeah, we've been dusting him.
I like how most people are apparently afraid of skeletons because even Batman sees like his father turn into a skeleton for some reason. I guess that's supposed to just make sure that you know it's like, oh, this is the scary thing.
I think
Spooky.
that in the 90s, like skeletons were a big scary thing.
Yeah.
And then like in the 2000s, people were like, oh no, you know what? Bones just aren't that scary by themselves. If you had like an animated skeleton, I suppose that could be
even
unnerving.
by then they were really scared. Like I feel like that's more of a like early 1900s kind of a thing, like just like and pre that, like, oh my god, bones coming to life, I cannot possibly think of anything worse. And then now it's like that, yeah, they're
just
so
like
mundane
a
and nothing.
big
Yeah.
strong iron pipe,
mean,
and you no
if-
longer have a foe.
I suppose if a human skeleton,
suppose?
I suppose if a human skeleton really did come at me, I'd probably like, well, I'm getting the hell out of here, but I don't expect that to happen, I suppose.
I think I suppose.
Yeah.
I think I would just go at it with like a blunt object because
Yeah.
like bones.
Yeah, you got a bunch of guitars and juggling items, fidget spinners everywhere.
There's so
could
many
just
fidget
toss it, yeah,
spinners.
toss it.
Is that a new one?
No, I brought that last time.
Oh, I didn't see
left
it.
it here.
Interesting.
A horrifying villain who goes by the name of the
Seamless.
Scarecrow. This is the TV guide.
Yes.
Potentially syndication synopsis. Horrifying villain who goes by the names of Scarecrow is spreading fear gas and wreaking havoc on Gotham State University. Batman investigates to discover that the culprit is really Professor Jonathan Crane, who was kicked out of the university years ago for conducting fear experiments and has returned as Scarecrow to get revenge. Under the influence of a treacherous fear gas, Batman must fight this wily straw man and his worst fear at the same time. A wily strawman.
There's no straw. There's no straw at all.
I guess his giant ass head fits inside a tiny sock.
I like that his head sock somehow shrinks his skull by like
maybe that's just
70%.
A bunch of extra hair and flesh on the side of his face.
It's very pointy, foldable flesh. Yeah, he wraps it around.
It's
the
like
back.
a morph suit style.
Yeah,
that's sucking it all in.
Totally normal. Okay, that was a good synopsis. I mean, again, it explained every single thing that happened. Oh, it didn't explain. Wait, can we? It didn't
explain how he like defeats him or anything.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
true.
Touch on what?
Different writer. Can we touch on the whole like Batman, like hanging on the front of another blimp? Yet another blimp in Gotham.
Yeah.
And
not the police ones, but just one that Scarecrow procured blimp. Somehow. Yeah.
Yeah. But he does that super classic like.
Yeah. He does the line. He says the thing.
That
what's the line, Brian?
I am the tiger.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in God.
Yes.
I am Batman.
I am the tiger. I am not a disgrace. I am the tiger. I believe in God. I am Batman. Not I of the tiger. I am the tiger.
Yeah. No, it's
I am the tiger. I believe in God. We're copyright struck now.
I am vengeance. I am the night.
Yeah,
I am
you got
Batman.
it. Did you know that before? Or did you have to actually think harder just now?
Heard it before, but when you put me on the spot, I didn't have it. But it took my brain a good couple clicks.
This is the only episode that he says that in. There's a couple other times where he says I'm Batman, and then there's a couple other like we just watched Pee-Pee, Pretty Poison. Actually, I only remembered it as Pee-Pee for a second.
Pee-Pee.
Yeah. Oh,
it didn't go.
Was it this one?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. I think it's that one where he's chasing the guy. There's all the puns at the start. He's chasing the guy on the roofs, and the guy's like, "Who are you?" He's like, "I'm your worst nightmare," and like stuff like that is gonna keep happening. But this is the only. It's for some reason like a super famous Batman Kevin Conroy thing to say, but it only happens in this one episode. Kevin Conroy just says that at like every public appearance he ever makes. Before he barely sit down. He's just like, I'm saying the line, and everyone, oh my God, I'm creaming my pants in the audience, and they all shout that simultaneously. That's the call and response.
I am vengeance.
I am
creaming in my pants.
Yeah, I am, and then he goes, and then everyone goes creaming in it. Yeah. Oh no, that's not the line.
Jamie, you might have the power to make that happen. Of all people, you can be like, Kevin Conroy is speaking at this event when he says, I am.
Please, everyone say creaming in my pants. Yeah. Anyway, so we got Kevin Conroy as Batman in this episode. What do you know? We got Robert Costanzo as Detective Bullock. Get up on the Hydra's back.
Wait. Can we do it?
He's trying to say it. Every episode that Bullock opens his mouth, Brian's like, okay, it's get up on the Hydra's back. Is that what it is?
And then every time we do it here, I'm like, get the
shit.
Climb onto the Hydra.
The Hydra's back is available anytime you please.
Climb the ladder on the Hydra.
Robert Costanzo. Yeah, he's the male as Detective Bullock. Get up on the Hydra. Get up on the Hydra's back, you idiot.
I'm just let that one play out. I need the full thing. Not that one.
We got Bob Hastings as Commissioner Gordon.
Upset with myself,
you got a whole
Jamie.
month now before we reconvene to do more.
I'm
episodes.
gonna write wait. Hold on.
Get her on the table. Get
up
down. No.
On
the Hydra's back.
Man.
Oh man! Oh, wow.
Did there?
Okay, next Comic-Con appearance, when Kevin Conroy says "I am," we all go, "Get up on the Hydra's back, man!" Bob Hastings as Commissioner Gordon. We got Clive Revel as Alfred.
Wait, that's not the same?
No.
Because it's normally
Ephraim
Zimbalist
Zimbalist Jr.
Jr.
No, yeah. I'd mentioned, I think, like, first episode that we did,
that's
the
right.
first couple
Or this
produced
other guy.
episodes are a different dude, yeah. And I must have known this at some point because it seemed vaguely familiar, but I had forgotten this little piece of trivia. George Lucas messed with Star Wars all over the place, the original movies. I say messed up, I think that was a Freudian slip. I don't care really about any of those changes, but he changed a bunch of stuff in Star Wars.
Han shot first.
Yeah, that's true. The original Empire Strikes Back, before they went in and changed it to be like there's a scene where Darth Vader is talking to the Emperor, and you see just like a very shadowy hologram face of in every updated version of the movie, it's the guy that plays the Emperor in all the other movies, and he's like much easier to see. You can see his whole face. There's no mystery at all. I guess I do maybe take umbrage with this change a little bit, but apparently the original Emperor is this guy, Clive Revel, in that scene, and it's they put it's like his face with monkey eyes where his eyes should be, so it's like this unsettling, weird, I don't know why I don't like this, but I don't like this kind of a thing when you look at it. Yeah.
Cool.
And
Uncanny
then
Valley.
he's just completely replaced in
bummer.
any subsequent version.
Wait, did you say who Scarecrow was?
Not
Get
yet.
there? Okay.
We got Mary Devon as Summer Gleason.
Get on! No.
Get up on the Hydra's back. That's apparently my Summer Gleason impression.
Bad job.
I looked up to see if she did anything else interesting, and she just does a bunch of random anime, like, secondary, tertiary characters.
She never had like a big blowout.
No,
that's
not a big
unfortunate.
blowout.
Hopefully she's had a good career anyway.
Yeah, Kevin McCarthy as Dr. Long. Nothing I got down for that. Richard Mole is the computer. He also has been voicing Harvey Dent in all of the stuff. And he voiced Thomas Wayne in this episode also.
Oh.
Mr. Batman's dad.
Okay.
But he also...
So the computer's Batman's father.
I think that it must have been in the other episode too. It sounded the same as that other one. So I would guess. But yeah, it's just funny to think of like, guy was hired to play Two-Face and they're like, can you be that chemical is at Star Labs also, or whatever. And he's like, okay, I guess so.
That's what a good voice actor does.
And then the last is Henry Pollock II as Scarecrow. And I don't have anything written down for him as a interesting other voice. So I
swear I
don't
know that voice.
It sounds I think he's doing a different voice. He continues to be the voice actor for the next several Scarecrow episodes, but I think he's might be putting on a little bit more theatricality in this first episode than later ones, because he definitely sounded way more, like, to me, like, way more over the top. I am the fucking guy kind of a thing, instead of just...
I am the vengeance.
Yeah.
I am the tiger.
He does do kind of one of those at the start, though. He's like, Batman's, who are you? And he's like, I am this adjective. I am this noun. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so I got a decent amount of trivia for this one. This
I love
is an episode of Batman. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
This is also a DCAU episode, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but you thought this was a Superman Static Shock episode that we just
I thought this
watched?
was a Zeta Project episode.
No. Why would you think that?
Because...
This is the only time that the Wayne grave looks this way in the episode.
Wow, you just slammed right back into your trivia, did you?
I sure
was
did.
thinking Zeta, and
Nope.
Nope.
Any other time you see the gravestone, it doesn't look like that at all.
What does it look
Completely
like?
Different. Well, you'll see.
Why, but I need to know now.
No, you'll forget this one because you never see it again.
It looks very Art Deco. I don't think I'm bound to forget.
Okay.
It looks like his building.
Does it? I
think
it says their names on it in this version, and in the other ones it just says Wayne across the top, and it's got like a little cross kind of thing. You'll see.
Yeah.
You'll
Okay.
See. Richard Mole voices Thomas Wayne. That's what I said about that. Thomas Wayne is voiced by Kevin Conroy every other time that we will see him. This is the first time we explore the Wayne's death. We kind of talked about that.
Yeah, origin story.
Yes. On the Batmobile's list of locations that Jonathan Crane could be, I thought that was kind of weird. I didn't pick up on this before. His whole deal is, this isn't the trivia thing, this is my mouth. His whole deal is how...
Welcome to James' mouth.
Enter the mouth of... I am James's mouth. Jonathan Crane is all like... I was kicked out of the college. I was a professor, and now I'm disgraced, and I'm doing this. But somehow between those two events, he
has his own chemical
owned
laboratory.
a chemical company. Yeah. Like, when did that happen, and how, and why is he like registered? He's an LLC of some kind that Batman can Google. Yeah. But he's on the list of stuff. We also see Star Labs at the bottom.
I remember that name from somewhere. I think it's one of your videos.
It'll show up in Superman a ton. In Metropolis, but the Gotham Star Labs isn't seen until a movie that came out in 2017. So it will take us quite a while to actually get there. It is seen in one of the tie-in comics for like a panel, but we're not going to be reading those, so it doesn't matter. It also lists Axis Chemicals, which is where the Joker was turned into the Joker in the Tim Burton Batman movie, but it's Ace Chemicals in Batman the Animated Series. So there's also an Axis Chemicals, I guess, that we never see.
I wonder if that was like a spelling error, like they left out like a C and a couple of S's.
The Ace is that's the same
thing. You should keep saying that.
I'm having a stroke, I think. Scarecrow hallucinating Batman as a bat monster would be reused in Batman Begins and the Arkham Knight video game.
Good trivia.
It's also a kind of weird that I didn't notice till this time watching it is that he runs into Batman, backs up into him and then turns around, he's a bat monster. But before any of that happens, he's already like hallucinating a bat flying around, and he's very afraid of the bat. Are we supposed to assume he knows Batman's in this room and that's why he's seeing bats? Or is he always afraid of bats?
Yeah, that's what I was led to believe. It's just he has a fear of bats, and then Batman
because everybody
just
immediately sees their worst fear all of a sudden.
Yeah, so I don't think
there's no influence.
Maybe he was like, "Oh, this is probably the work of the Batman."
Maybe,
but
it could be. Maybe it's supposed to be this deep thing about his character of like he's afraid of bats, but Batman's gonna be his nemesis or whatever. But I don't know if I've never thought that about that scene until this time where I'm like, well, he doesn't even know Batman's in the room yet or whatever.
Yeah, no, I think it was just he has a fear of bats, and Batman just happens to be a Batman. It's probably like that was more fortuitous than like what if he was like really afraid of gophers? And Batman comes in and he's like, "Fuck off, Batman! I'm dealing with a gopher.
I'm seeing you as a giant gopher.
Gopher man, leave me alone."
The bank security guard's reading a Tiny Toons magazine. We saw that while we were watching it.
And then he had the Tommy Wiseau chuckle over it.
Yeah, and then he falls over. I like how that guy he saw spiders all over him and then was down on the ground like freaking out about that. And then Batman dealt with the Scarecrow in a completely separate room. And then when the police show up, he's like, "Yeah, Batman was here. He beat the Scarecrow. I saw everything, even though I didn't."
That's a good point.
Yeah. Gordon calls... Oh, no, it's not Gordon. Bullock calls Batman Zorro.
Bullock.
Yeah.
Detective, get up on the Hydra's back.
Bullock, yes. Detective Harvey, get up on the Hydra's back. Bullock. Yeah, he calls him Zorro. The Waynes were walking out of a Zorro film when they were killed.
That's an Easter egg, Jamie. That's what we call that.
And also just kind of an influential character to the creation of Batman in general. Henry Gilroy had never written a cartoon before writing this episode. There you go. The Danny Elfman Batman theme is used twice in this episode. I think we noticed that while watching. It was very blatant usage of it, like just full several measures of it, which I think it's kind of a little motif every once in a while. But this was like a definite like, and now it's happening. Or no, I'm singing the wrong one. What? The whole thing, yeah. Okay, Batman's "I am vengeance," etc. line. Kevin Conroy says every chance he gets. And then
That's trivia.
Yeah. In the what is Batman Arkham? Oh, okay. This is a book. There's a book called Batman Arkham Universe, the Ultimate Visual Guide. So I guess it's probably for like the Arkham video games pre-production or something. I don't know things. Kevin Conroy recounted how during the first season of Batman the Animated Series, he was accosted by a homeless man outside a Los Angeles bank late at night. Conroy's first thought was that the man wanted money, but instead the man enthusiastically told him that he recognized Conroy's voice and watched the show faithfully through the display window of the nearby electronics store. Conroy obliged this fan's request to recite his signature line. The man was ecstatic and said he didn't want or need anything more. But Conroy insisted on driving him to an ATM and giving him some money. Conroy later remarked to Andrea Romano, the voice director, that the incident was a surprising testament to how recognizable he had become as an actor in a relatively short time and how closely people associated his voice with the character of Batman.
And it was also just a really cool thing of him to be like,
Yeah.
it was like, Matt, can I just have some like voice acting? And instead he's just like, here's some. Maybe not instead,
I will
but
do
additionally.
it. But I will help you also. Yeah.
That's sweet. And
Kevin Conroy definitely seems just like a nice dude in general. So I hope that he doesn't get Me Too'd or something.
Yeah. No, it seems like he's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
And also, that's just a good lesson for everybody that, like, just because someone is not sleeping in a house doesn't mean that they're a bad person. They might be a Batman fan.
They might be a bat person.
They might be a bat person.
I should clarify when I say I hope he doesn't get Me Too'd, I don't mean I hope the SJWs don't ruin his career or whatever. I mean, I hope that nothing comes out about him, or I hope he didn't do anything in his past that warrants something coming out about him, I guess. But I don't foresee that being a thing. I'll say that now, but he does definitely seem just like a genuinely nice guy. That story also reminds me of there's some like documentary thing called I Know That Voice, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
Have you watched that before?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Kevin Conroy's in that, and he talks about like working in a soup kitchen on from 9/11, after 9/11, and that there's some firemen or something like recognized his voice and was like shouting out to everybody in the cafeteria or whatever place, like, hey, we got Batman back here cooking your food. And they're like, no way. And then he shouts the line and they're like, oh my God, from the back of the kitchen where no one can see him.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah. So like there are times that when I think that it's warranted for him to say the line, like,
totally.
Yeah.
I mean, especially a situation like that when like people need a moral boosting.
Yeah. He probably says it every time he comes out because inevitably someone's going to ask him to say it, so he probably just says it.
Cuts to the chase.
Yeah.
Like, I'm more than this.
You had it, yeah. But he loves it though. He's like, he soaks it up. He's a ham. He's he was in a bunch of like theater productions and stuff before being I think Batman was his first like
voice acting
thing, that he did. So anyway, that's all the trivia I got. There's a bunch of stuff.
That's a lot of trivia.
Was there anything else that you wanted to say about this episode?
I think it's weird that Batman thinks he's a tiger.
Yeah, and what was the other thing?
He believes in God.
I believe in God. I am a tiger. I believe in God. Oh my God!
If somebody wants to like
the
illustrate
subtitle of
that,
this episode, I am a tiger. I believe in God.
I hope so.
Like that, I am Batman doesn't change. Like he will always be Batman, but he kind of just mixes it up a little bit now and then. The other two parts of this,
drinking daiquiris, believing in God.
You will if you drink enough. That's the only way. Yeah. Well, that's been another episode of this show.
Oh, are we done already?
Yeah, we are. And we gotta oh no, we gotta put this on our top 10.
See, we're not done already.
Not quite. It's time for top 10 things. Put it on the top 10. Oh yeah, putting it onto the list. Your list in reverse order is as follows. It's never... I'm not going to do that. It's never too late. It's never too late at the bottom on number 9.
Oh.
So when we place this on our list, this will officially complete a top 10 that we will then continue to bump episodes off of as we go through the next
can't wait.
It's close to 300 more episodes of all the shows that we're going to watch after this, I'm pretty sure. You got It's Never Too Late, Cat in the Claw Part 2.
On Leather Wings, Feet of Clay Part 1, The Cat in the Claw Part 1, Pretty Poison, Joker's Favor, Feet of Clay Part 2, and Heart of Ice rightfully in number one.
You say rightfully, however, mine in reverse order. I've got It's Never Too Late at the bottom,
right.
naturally. Cat in the Claw Part 2,
Correct.
Cat in the Claw Part 1.
Incorrect.
Oh, yeah. Feet of Clay Part 1.
Correct.
We both had that at number 6.
Yeah, we're actually pretty synced up.
Pretty Poison, Joker's Favor, Heart of Ice, Feet of Clay Part 2, On Leather Wings. Oh, God. So, little physical matter came with that one.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Where are you going to put this? Or is it above It's Never Too Late?
It couldn't not be.
Okay. Is it So, to me, this episode that we just watched was pretty simple. Like, there wasn't a lot of, especially, like, I mean, Batman had some moments of, oh no, my father.
Yeah.
But like that was the deepest it ever got beyond like a very surface level kind of plot. Like Scarecrow wants to put the gas, but Batman punch.
It's weird. It's weird to me with all that in mind that I'm putting this obviously at number 1.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
No.
It's above Heart of Ice. Yeah.
I would say this is a good episode, but yeah, it wasn't like the deepest thing ever. I'm going to put this in 6th place. I'm going to keep Cat in the Claw Part 1 because that one was pretty cool and techie, but yeah.
Okay. So that's, you've got it below Cat in the Claw Part 1, but above Feet of Clay Part 1.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I have those 2 episodes in reverse order. I don't think it's better than Pretty Poison.
No.
And
But you could make that. You could say that it's better than that, but you'd be wrong.
Yeah, I know. I could do a lot of things. I don't think it's better than Feet of Clay Part 1 to me. Like, I think just the animation is probably better.
That's good animation.
I was supposed, like, I was kind of expecting it to be better animation just because Dong Yang goes on to be, like, one of my favorite
there was good
animation companies. But there was nothing like bad, but it was just a little.
Except for the slow motion
Batman.
fall.
Yeah, the guy falling off the blimp at 0.3 miles an hour. Yeah, there was a handful of just. There's always these early Batman episodes just are such a mixed bag of like acting and animation and just everything is just going to be kind of.
They're hitting their stride still. Yeah. They're working on it.
It's like me tossing darts at the dartboard in your kitchen. And
yeah, sometimes it hits a bullseye. Sometimes it
never hits a bullseye. But
you hit a bullseye once, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I got close.
Oh.
But then sometimes it hits the wall next to it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it hits me in the mouth. I don't think that happened yet, but it will in the future.
So your top 10?
I'm putting it at number 7. Which is below Feet of Clay Part 1.
Did you really just type that is insane.
What are you talking about?
MJHG on both of those.
Whoa.
Your random letter generator.
MJ. I must have just gone, like in this swoopy pattern.
That's cool.
Anyway,
good job.
Yeah, I think that the scene at the end of Feet of Clay Part 1 of them, like, pouring clay into his mouth and then he's melting in the car and that kind of stuff is better than this whole episode probably. So but I still think I prefer this one over either of the Cat in the Claw. Cat in the Claw has got a kind of neat atmosphere, but it's just kind of a boring episode that I never come back to, I guess. And this one's got the I'm the tiger. I believe in God. So how could you not keep it higher up than some? I just don't think I don't think that's enough to put it above the Poison Ivy episode, the Joker episode, or definitely Heart of Ice, Feet of Clay Part 2 on Leather Wings. I don't think any of those are worse than this. So yeah, that's the episode. Thanks for listening, everybody. We're building our top 10 throughout the production of this podcast. now we actually have a top 10. And that's so now we can stop. We don't have to do any more of the podcast.
Thank you for listening, listener.
You've been very loyal for these.
We're done.
All 10 episodes of this. That one we'll never do one again. But I guess next week you can turn in.
You can turn into a bat or a tiger.
You can turn into God.
You can turn into God.
I am God. I believe in tigers. I am Batman. Wait, I've lost what's going on. Oh, you said that you thought that the roses at the end were the poison ivy roses.
Oh, they totally were for like one frame. They were the same color.
Literal translation to normal rose is.
Yeah,
that's what you thought they were.
They're the normal rose.
So anytime we see a normal rose, that's technically the rose from Pretty Poison. Yeah.
Amazing.
Nice.
Science.
Even in real life, you see a rose like, wow, that's the one that Poison Ivy used, because it's a normal rose.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna let you like.
I was really quiet. Sorry.
That was really quiet. Get the levels.
All right. Thanks for listening. Where you can email us at podcast@watchtowerdatabase.com. Put some sort of subject line specification that you're talking about this podcast, so that we know which podcast you're talking to. This is oh my god, what do I say here at the end? I don't know things. We did the top 10s. Oh, what the next week's episode? You have to predict.
Oh God, you're right.
What it's going to be about, but I have to bring that up on a different, because I didn't write it down in this thing. So you need to come up with some.
I can just give you a prediction,
right,
even if I don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah, you don't even get the title. What do you think?
It's going to be Batman's origin story. I predict the title of the episode is going to be called "The Origin of the Bat."
Oh, interesting.
And I think the odd thing is going to be that like Bruce Wayne was like adopted. He was.
Sorry, I'm laughing at what the title is, but continue.
He was one of those like found in the river in a reed basket kind of babies. And they're like
Moses.
They're like, we're gonna call you Batman, and then like Alfred's like, that's my son, and his name is Bruce.
You thought Alfred was gonna say like, he was gonna tell Batman that he was his dad.
I wanted that to happen.
I know your father would be proud of you because I'm your father.
And then Batman's like, no, it's impossible.
That's the Mark Hamill connection. The
Yes.
next episode is called "Be a Clown." So you think this is going to be about them finding Bruce Wayne's baby body in a basket on the river?
Most definitely. I am a clown. Let me give you a better
Be a
prediction
clown.
here. Be a clown.
It's telling
I am
you,
the
be a clown.
I do that.
That was perfectly timed. Yeah, good job.
Be a clown. I feel like it's got to be a Joker episode, but
Okay.
I feel like that's kind of phoning it in.
Phoning it in.
To
By
clown.
calling it that? But you are phoning in the prediction by assuming
Yeah.
clown means Joker. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're right.
Just gonna stop right there. Joker's origin story. Yeah, nailed it.
How he beat a clown.
How he beat or
How he
beat?
beat a clown.
Oh wow, you're doing some real English there, buddy.
Do we have any of the titles of episodes been in the episode yet? Because we kept going. It's never too late to da da da.
I don't know.
It's never too late, but
remember.
I don't think they have been. Heart of Ice, no. Joker's Favor probably was said, but maybe
No,
I don't think so. Because they would just be, like Joker's origin story, and Batman's punching him on the railing above the chemicals, and he goes, "Be a clown," and punches him. No, what have I done?
Well then,
Yep. We'll see you next week, everybody, or the one person that listens to this, our dear listener.
don't forget, listener, if you got any advice or questions or whatever, just give them to us.
Just give them.
We're going to be very late in getting them to you because we record in a funny fashion.
Okay, your version of dear listener is you're talking. You want to talk. Make sure that whoever's listening to this just feels like we're talking right to them.
I am
and then
talking
my
right
version
to them.
of that is, we have only one person that listens.
I mean, it's the same situation.
It's debatable.
No.
All
listener.
right, bye everybody. We'll see
Bye,
you later.
listener.
For Be a Clown.
Be a clown.
Yeah, clown, yeah. Be a clown, be a clown, yeah. Be a clown, be a clown, be a clown. Yeah. That's what happens.
That's
in
the new
episode.
theme song. Be a clown, everybody.
That's the new title of the podcast.